Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Salami, and today we are doing my first impressions of Dynasty Warriors Origins. I just want to do a big shout out to Koei Tecmo for sending me a code to be able to check this out, and I just want to say off the bat, this game is freaking fantastic on Steam Deck. As of late, the AAA games coming to Steam Deck have been all over the show. But this one here is absolutely fantastic, and I want to help you dial in the best settings. So we'll do that first, and then we're just going to talk about the game, because at 10 hours in, I am loving this, and there is a lot here. So we'll go over my personal settings, and then we will talk about the game in general. So without further ado, let's crack into it. Alright, so let's jump into the main menu here, and I will show you my settings, and of course you can tinker with these as much as you like. So what we've got here, model quality is got a Steam Deck setting, and then the rest here I've got on medium, and this is for a 30 FPS cap, but if you wanted to go to 60 you could drop those down to low. Moving over to our advanced settings here, I've got mostly everything on, and again you could drop some of these down to get to a inconsistent 40, which is currently what I'm playing at here. We're going for 720 here by 1280. There is no ultra 16 by 10, so you do have a black bars at the top and bottom, but you'll be able to live. I have dynamic resolution turned off, and you'll see why. I have it on a 30 FPS cap, and I am using the Intel XeSS with Ultra Quality Plus. But if you mix that with dynamic resolution, it starts to get a little bit too fuzzy for my personal choice. But as you can see from the footage behind you here, this is what it's going to look like, and I think this looks, especially on the OLED, which I'm playing this on, it looks freaking fantastic. FSR3 is currently not working. It has artifacting issues, so we're just not going to use it. But to be honest, XeSS is much nicer. It is heavier, but we are using the Plus, but it does do the AA to quite a nice standard, as you can see here. So technically speaking, this is a solid 30 FPS game on Steam Deck, and an unsolid 40 FPS, which is what I'm currently doing with it. I just, instead of limiting it to 30 FPS, I just limit it to 60, and I just let it float around. I wouldn't use the Steam Deck limited to 40, just because it's going to add that little bit extra in terms of latency, which for a game like this don't really want. So I decided not to go with it. So without further ado, that's our small little introduction. As you can tell, we don't need to do too much. This game works pretty well out the box. So without further ado, let's talk about some gameplay. So what you're seeing in the background here is a main mission, which is a large scale battle with multiple factors taking place. If you can see in the bottom right corner there is a map which displays your forces and enemy forces, and basically you're the in-betweener. You kind of need to go where people are losing or winning or not losing their fights, so you can ignore certain areas and go to others. And basically you're just running around the battlefield trying to make sure that generals on your side don't die and enemy generals lose on their side to move morale in your favor. So if you don't know much about Dynasty Warriors, put it simply, it's a big battle it's not a simulator, it's a big battle fun time where you can just juggle enemies, throw them in the air, and do some really cool combos. It's got a really cool light RPG systems added in, and you go from mission to mission. Well, there is a overworld, which I will show. So this is the overworld, and from here you go from your main missions, go to towns, and also do side missions and pick up resources. So the white circle there is a side mission where it's great to I'm finding them really useful for getting a small amount of materials and resources, but also a way to just test out weapons that you may not be using, just to try them out. There is also a test environment, but you might as well just do it in these small scale missions because you're getting proper XP from it. And they are just a good little way to play. I do find that these maps do repeat a lot in this, but I am still in the opening area, so I'm kind of getting repeating, but that's because I'm enjoying it so much that I've been doing these same side missions over and over again. But if you're just making your way through the main story, that probably wouldn't be a problem. While main missions like this one here have actual scripted parts taking place, like we're waiting here for ladders to be deployed for us to jump over the wall. Of course, I could have gone a different way through the map and missed this entirely, so it really does depend on your playstyle, and where you go during the battle will determine what you're going to see and what you're going to accomplish. Where the side missions where you're earning a small amount of XP and weapon leveling are not this grand in scale, but you get the idea. That gives you a good mix of different combats to take place in. I want to point out through all of this, the music and the guitar riffs are on point. They freaking rock. Everything in this game just comes together so well, and it adds a lot of fun. Even at 10 hours in, like, I haven't seen a lot, but what I have seen is awesome, and I'm surely it's going to get better. The main story is pretty solid. While it's not breaking any barriers here, that you are playing in a main character that has amnesia, and you're trying to figure out who you are and where you've come from and what you've done. So there's a little mystery involving your main character while you're getting dragged through this war between the yellow turbans and the Imperial army. And at the very start, you actually help this isn't really spoilers, I should say, but you help the yellow turbans, not realizing what they are going to become, which is kind of like a tyrannic force that were there to free people from the Empire who was not being helpful to becoming tyrants themselves. So you've ended up aligning yourself with the Empire here, but I can't see that lasting, as we've met a few characters later on which are not as very nice, and so things could change without notice. And again, I'm only just making my way through this campaign, so there's a lot more for me to see and do. But moving on to gameplay, you can see a lot going on here. So you have your regular dudes that you make your way through just hacking and slashing, and then usually mixed in with those main soldiers are generals and commanders, which are mini bosses per se, and then you make your way through to a big boss at the end.
Help your lowly servants! Render us invincible, that we may put these handhogs to the sword! Take this!
The enemy officer has been defeated.
I thank you for your aid.
Take this!
While doing all this, you're leveling up your weapon, which you then get XP, which allows you to upgrade your primary weapon that you're currently using to do things like get new abilities that you set to your D-pad, not to your D-pad, but to your face button by using the right bumper to activate them, while your left bumper is parry. The parrying in this game feels so good to do. Every time you get a parry, you do a counter attack, and that breaks most of the mini bosses / bosses stamina bar. Once that breaks, you can do an assault move and really do some big damage, and then you just keep pushing forward. As you can see in some of the missions like this one here, we needed to take out these tornadoes that are being formed by the enemy, And there's also, you have basically like a true sight where you can pull the left trigger and it will bring up like a smell-o-vision, and you can see what's going on and see what you need to deal with. As you can see there, it was a perfect parry, where we can then start really working on this mini boss here. These are really fun like to do these, and while you're doing this, you can also use different types of in your upgrades. You can have certain abilities equipped. So if one of my gems allows me to automatically parry 30% of the time against generals, which is really cool. Or you could have every 100 kills gives you bonus healing, and so on and so forth. On top of leveling up your weapons, you also have 2 gem slots plus your ability slots. So you have plenty to work with and make your character your own. I've only unlocked 3 weapon types so far, which is the sword, the spear, and I've just unlocked gauntlet. So I haven't even tried the gauntlets out yet. I'm just loving using the sword. But you will also get mini side missions during the main campaign to do so many things, like use a spear or get so many kills with certain abilities and things like that. So giving you a reason to try different weapons per se.
Situation poorly. No way.
The enemy officer
is fixed on the heavens that you forsake all who belong in the living one. You yellow turbans have attacked the people and pillaged their villages. Such transgressions can never be forgiven. Earthly crimes must be judged according to earthly laws. We shall be the ones to impose your punishment. Excellent. Now, go forth and show me what you can do.
This is a really great release, and I feel like it's been underappreciated actually, with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and for some unknown reason this game's not been forgotten. Like, looking on Steam, it's getting about 35,000 players, so it's not like it's doing bad, but I feel like it's getting underappreciated. Like, this has got some serious swag going on, and I think this is a perfect fit for Steam Deck. And if you're looking for a fun hack and slash, this is something worth looking into. If you're like me, I never played the original Dynasty Warriors on PS2 or anything like. I've actually never really played a Dynasty Warrior game. So my recommendation is, if you want to just get something fun, this is not a bad choice by any stretch of the imagination. There's no online requirement, there's no weird, it's just a straightforward game where you make a character. Well, you don't even make a character, you start a new game and you start killing tons and tons of bad guys. So Origins is a great jumping off point if you're new to Dynasty Warriors like me, and you are wanting some fun combat with a great parry system, abilities, skills, and light RPG mechanics for leveling your character. You also have dialogue trees when you're talking to characters. Not that they're very deep, you only have 2 to 3 options total, but I'm not sure how they play in further on, so that could be something worth keeping your eye on. Again, I just want to say a big thank you to Koei Tecmo for allowing me to play this game. Not early, but at least give it a go on Steam Deck, where I'm giving this an A+ rating, and that it is worth your time. So for anyone out there that was thinking about Dynasty Warriors, yes, it's a good game, and 2, it runs really well on the deck. So go on, slice and dice, let's get into it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Begin the advance. Onward, everyone, without delay. Begin advancing.
Take this. The enemy officer has been defeated. I've been waiting for this. Take this. This territory is ours. Take this. That one would put up a good fight for sure.